Okay, let me talk about the test real quick that you guys took yesterday before I get into the new unit. Class average was a 76. I only do this once a year, and that's it. That's it, once a year. And it's on this unit test. Starting next week, if you scored below a 70, starting next week, if you scored below a 70, you have to make an appearance twice during the week next year, during the week next week, twice. So periods 3, 5, 6 are after school. Got to make an appearance twice. Appearance number 1 is to go over all your corrections. So please don't try to correct it on your own and bring it in and say you're done. Okay, you sit down with me one-on-one. We go over your corrections. Appearance number 2 is to make sure you're good with what we're going over right now in the current unit. And then I raise it to a respectable grade. That's it. It's the only time I do it during the year. Okay, only time. And it gives me an opportunity to talk to some of you one-on-one about what are we going to do here. Okay, because if you take a look on Aspen right now, not so hot. Okay, not so hot right now. So we need to sit down and say, hey, where are we going from here? Honestly, where are we going? Okay, and I am done talking to you as a group about whether you should be in here or not. We need to start talking one-on-one. So that's next week, Monday through Friday. I'm not going to extend it to the following week. If you really want your grade to be raised above to a respectable grade, twice, 2 times, periods 3, 5, 6 are after school. We'll sit down individually, go over test corrections the first time, and then second time, I'm going to make sure we know what the heck's going on in here. Questions about that? Okay, open up your Chromebooks, please. Open up your Chromebooks. This unit, I'm going to start doing some assignments out of Delta Math, only because those assignments are those problems are a heck of a lot better than what's in your textbook. So I want the best for you. So however you get into Delta Math, there's your period 1 class code. If for whatever reason you need my teacher code, there it is right there at the bottom of the screen. Okay, and there should be an assignment there already. All right. Questions about that? And again, this also gives me the opportunity, okay, you haven't been doing the assignments. I can check them on Delta Math. Probably why that reflects whatever test grade that you have. Questions about anything?
I think pictures.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so you can put those away. If we have time at the end of class, you can do the first Delta Math assignment out of there. Okay, here you go. New packets. Unit 2. This packet's also up on Classroom, if you ever use it. Okay, just so you can put it on the packet there. Your first quiz, Thursday, October 7th. So next Thursday is your first quiz in this unit. Thursday, October 7th. That's when the quiz will be. And the unit test will be Thursday, October 14th, the week after. All right. So you guys have plenty of heads up when everything's going to be however you want to prepare. Okay, let's jump right into it here today. We're taking a huge 180 from what we were doing in Unit 1. Okay, no more fractions, no more factoring. We're going to talk what's called sequences and series. All right, sequences and series. First, what is a sequence? It's just numbers in an order. That's it. Sometimes they will have patterns, sometimes they won't have a pattern. All right, it's just a bunch of terms in order. So I got my first one right here. This is the one I want you to look at first. 2, 11, 20, 29, 38. Fourth term in that sequence. What is the fourth term in that sequence? If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, what's the fourth term? Okay, 29, but I want to make sure you guys can write it correctly because we have notation that says this is the fourth term, 29. Ready? You will start seeing an A, just like that, like a lowercase a, with a subscript. You know what I mean by subscript? A number down below. So if this is the fourth term, you're going to see 4. So right there, staring you in the face right now, that says fourth term. That's the symbol notation we're going to use for fourth term. And that's equal to, what was the fourth term? 29. So that tells me right there what we just wrote, the fourth term is equal to 29. Now, do you notice this sequence has a pattern? Yeah. Okay, if you haven't, I'll give you a second to find the pattern. And then go ahead and see if you can find what the seventh term would be using that pattern. Because I've only given you 5 of the terms. I'm looking for the seventh term. Okay, here you go. 8, Connor, what's the seventh term?
I said 56.
How'd you get 50? How'd you get it? Go ahead.
I just kept adding 9.
Kept adding 9. 56 sound all right? Okay, now how do I write that?
A to the 7th.
A with the subscript of 7 equals 56. So we okay with the notation? Not too bad. All right. Now here's what I want to do with you. If I give you a term we're on, can you tell me what the next term would be? Okay, the next term would be. So what's this saying right here? What term are we on right now? Fourth term. So what would be the next term? Okay, so I'm going to write A, 5. And I'm also going to add a little something. Over to the left, let's make a new column. Hopefully you have room. And this column is going to be the term before. I should have put that in, but we can add that in right now. Term before. So what would be the term before here? The third term, so A with the subscript of 3. Okay, great. I know you can do that with numbers. Now let's try a variable. What if I'm on A and the nth term? The nth term. How do you think I could write the next term?
N plus 1.
A, n plus 1. That would be the next term. I just add 1 to whatever I'm on. And now use that information right now. How do you think I would write? Relax. How do you think I would write the term before now? Term before, 13. Ooh. We'll get there. Oriana, how do you think I write the term before? Good. Now n minus 1 instead of plus 1 to write the term before. Okay, let's pick up the pace now. Now my term is A with the n plus 1. So how do you think I represent the next term now? Next term would be 14, Emma?
A n plus 2.
A, n plus 2. And how about the term before? Term before? Jeremy?
A n.
A-N, correct. Would be the term before. All right, let's keep going. A, n plus 4. Ryan?
N plus 5.
A, n plus 5 is the next term. Previous term then, if I'm on A, n plus 4, previous term, not too bad. 7, Connor?
N plus 3.
Okay, we all good here, because I'm going to show you new notation that also can be part of sequences. I've exposed you guys to the A's, okay, the lowercase a with the subscript. You could also see F with a number in here. So right now, this tells me, take a wild guess what term I'm on. The 6th term. That's a different, hey, this right here is the same notation as that. It means the same thing. I'm looking for the 6th term, but now I can write it F of 6. So what's the next term in front of it then? F 7, and the term before would be F of 5, the 5th term. It's just another way of writing the notation, and I want you to see both, because you're going to see both on test quizzes and assignments. All right, what if I'm on F of n then? Next one will be F of n plus 1. It's just like the A. All right, it's just like the A, except we're using the F function. And previous term would be F of n minus 1. F of n plus 1 would be next one, F of n plus 2. And what about the previous one? F of n. I'm doing all this, and I took about 5 minutes off our class here doing all this because you may see a problem with these two right here, and then it's like, oh, the current one is F of n. That must mean the next one has to be F of n plus 1. That's what they're giving me. Here you go. Here's exactly what I'm talking about. Here's my sequence. Right up on the board, there's my sequence. With my new notation now. Now I'm using the A notation. Can you guys find me what A2 plus A6 is? I'm not, and the answer is not A8. What's A2 represent? That's the 2nd term, which is what?
7.
So 7, which is A2, plus, what's A sub 6 mean? That's my 6th term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 31. So my answer here, 38. Okay, everyone see where I plucked that out? The answer is not A subscript 8. I find the 2nd term, add it to the 6th term. All right, let's go to B. What's it asking me? What's A4 mean?
19.
The 4th term, which is 19, plus, now what's it asking me to do here to the right? The 6th term times 2. So 2 times my 6th term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 31. And we end up with?
62.
What do we end up with?
62.
Okay, 19 plus 62.
81.
For the final answer, 81. See how this is working? Okay, next. AN plus AN minus 3, but I'm telling you n equals 7 now.
A7 plus A4.
Okay, so when I plug in 7 for n, 7th term plus the plug in 7, what am I looking for on the right? The 4th term now, when I plugged in 7 for n. So the 7th term plus the 4th term. So 37 plus 19. 56.
Wait, I'm sorry. How did you get A to the 4th again?
Took n equals 7, plugged it in for n. 7 minus 3,
Oh.
4. Right? So that's telling me find the 4th term. Any issues? Because now it gets tougher, and this is what I need you to get before you walk out the door today. We okay on the symbols? What I'm looking for? No issues? Okay, let's go down below then. Let's just answer part A first before I get to slowly go over part B. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. What's f of 6 asking first? What is the sixth term up there? And it is?
40.
What is it?
40.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 35. We good there, Jeremy? 6 terms, 35. You guys see a pattern up there? What's the pattern?
5.
What do you mean 5? What?
Add 5.
Add 5 to what?
The next term.
What do I have to add 5 to get the next term?
The previous.
Okay, the previous term. Everyone agrees that? If you want to get the next term, you add 5 to the previous term. What you guys are telling me right now is what's called, and we're going to do a lot of these today, a recursive formula. It describes the pattern for you. It describes the pattern. So you guys just said the pattern is what? Add 5 to what? To the previous term. So I need to write that in the correct notation now. So anytime you're asked to write your own recursive formula, it comes in two parts. Two parts. The first part is the easiest part. You got to tell me where we're starting. What's the first term in the sequence? What's the first term in my sequence? Okay, so I need to tell you the first term in the sequence is 10. Ready, here comes the tougher part now, and this is why we did this huge chart a couple minutes ago. Now you got to tell me how to find any term in the sequence. So we're going to start out with A subscript n, which means, hey, here's how you find any term in the sequence. It's going to be equal to, in your own words again, tell me what the pattern is again. Add 5 to the, okay, if I'm on A sub n, what's the previous term then? A with the subscript of what, Mike? N minus 1. So this is what this is saying. If you want to find any term in this sequence, you take, ready? What's this for again? This is the previous term. And do what? Add 5. So a recursive formula comes in two parts. Number 1, you got to tell me what the first term is so I know where to start. Number 2, you got to tell me how to find the next term using the previous term. All right? Questions, comments?
Is that how you would like write it, or would there be like a more put together form?
What do you mean?
Like if
You could-
want it spaced
You
out,
can no, you can write it right on top of you, one over the other, but you need two parts to it. You need the two parts to it. Okay? And again, is it always going to be plus 5, the pattern? No, it's whatever the pattern is. Just tell me what you're doing to the previous term. Okay? Questions here? I am not done with this one yet. Not done with B yet. Not done with B. Go back. I want to expose you to all the different ways we could do this. Because remember, we don't always have to use an A. We could use an F, right? We could use an F instead. So ready? Here's a different way you could see this. F of 1, meaning what? First term equals 10. And then writing the rule using the previous term, you could say F of n equals, how do you write the previous term using your F notation? Previous term, F of n minus 1 plus 5. That's the other way I could write this. I want you to see both. You probably don't have anything to ask because we haven't done enough yet. So let's keep going. Okay, here's a sequence for you. Can you guys find me the value of a sub 2 plus 3 times a sub 4? See if you can do that on your own. Remember, that's a term you plug in. It's a term. Find the pattern. Just the part A, that's all I'm looking for. We'll do part B together.
I got part B.
Well, I'm not ready yet, boss. Emma, what did we get? Well, first of all, what's the second term?
6.
6 plus 3 times, what's the fourth term?
24.
24 for a value of
71.
78. Okay, we're all good. Okay, can you first, before I start the recursive formula, you guys know what the pattern is? Because you got to find the pattern to do the formula. Okay, again, comes in 2 parts, right? 2 parts. Once I see the word recursive formula, 2 parts. First part is the easiest one, which is what? What's the first term? And where are you starting? A sub 1 is equal to, what's my first term? Okay, that's got to be there. That's the easiest part. Now the second part is, what do I do to the previous term to find the next term? What's the pattern, guys? Multiply by 2. So how do I write that? Jeremy, relax, please. A subscript n, which means any term, right? Any term can be found by taking the previous term. It's always the previous. So how do I write the previous? A subscript n minus 1. And what do you have to do to the previous to get to the next? Previous to get to the next. Multiply by. So all I'm going to, you can put, this, that's fine. But most likely you'll see a nice little 2 out in front. You could also do parentheses around the a n minus 1 as well.
If you were using F, where would you put that?
Well, okay, good question. If I was using f. So it would be f of 1 equals 3, right? And then over here, f of n equals 2 f of n minus 1, going out in front. Everyone all right? Okay, moving on. Okay, now not just 1 term, how about 5 terms? Generate the first 5 terms using this. Now, do you see what I'm doing? I'm giving you the recursive formula. I'm not asking you to create it. I am giving you the formula, and I want you to produce the first 5 terms of this sequence. Okay, everyone sees the F notation there. Well, I already gave you the first terms. What? Okay. Good. Now, using the recursive formula here, find me the next couple terms. Yes, Mike?
If a question's written using the F form, would it still be acceptable to write your answer in the name form?
If you want, yeah, that's fine. Yep. Okay, ready? So now we're on to the second term. Let's look at our formula. How do I find the second term? Ready? What's f of n minus 1 mean again? You take the previous term, whatever it was, and add 5 to it. That's how you find every term. That's what this means. You take the previous term up here. That's the symbolic notation for previous term, and add 5. So what's my second term going to be?
3.
There we go. And I got to find the first 5 terms, so I got a couple more to go. F of 3? 8. F of 4? I'm just adding 5 to the previous term. 13. And then the final one, because I had to find the first 5 terms. 18. Questions on how it's used? Good, we're making good time here, so you guys can get a little time at the end to practice. Okay, find the first 4 terms of this sequence. Find the first 4 terms. Well, what's the first term now? First term is 5. Okay, here's the formula. Now, you don't see an n minus 1, but that's okay. Okay, that's okay. Do you see what I'm starting out with? N plus 1? So n must be the, let me go back. N plus 1 was here. N must be the previous term now. I can write it many different ways. You might not see n minus 1 all the time. But look what I started with. See how I'm starting with n plus 1 and then it went to n? So this now is the previous term. Okay, you may not see n minus 1. But if I'm starting with n plus 1 and they give me n, a sub n, that's got to be the previous. All right, you ready? Somebody help me. How do I find the second term here? Ready? Read the formula. 2 times, which is what? Previous term. That's how I know. I got to know that's my previous term, which was what? So 2 times 5 plus 7. That'll give me the second term. I'm always using the previous term somehow. Second term is 17. And I'm going to let you guys go and find terms 3, 4, and 5 now. $17, third term. 41, fourth term. 89. I said find the first 4. Sorry. So I guess we're done. If you had the 5th in there, no big deal. A recursive formula always uses the previous term to find the next one. Anything here before we get really hardcore? Okay. Find the first 3 terms now. Find the first 3 terms. Well, we know what's the first term. There we go. I only need to find 3 of them. There's 1 out of the 3. All right, let's take a deep breath here. Here's the rule to find more terms. Okay. If you want to find the next term, you take 5 times. What's a sub n represent here? Previous. All right, so let me start off here because I don't want to get too far ahead. Second term, how can I find it? Everyone start reading the formula. 5 times previous term, which is -2, plus 2. Now I'm going to stop right here. Do you see there's no a here? Right? Everyone see that? There's no a here. There's no a there. So we're not talking about a term now. We're talking about n. And what's n? That's the term you're on right now. Okay? Everyone see there's no a sub whatever here like there is here, right? So I'm not actually going to plug an actual term in there. N represents whatever term I'm on right now, which is what? Okay? That's what I'm plugging in. Since there's no a n there, that doesn't mean plug a term in there. That means plug whatever term you're on. I'm on the second term, so I plug in 2. they'll always match here. If you just see n, everyone see that? If I just see the n by itself, no a with it, that's the term I'm on. So what's the second term?
-24.
It is?
Six.
I don't.
Oh yeah, the second term. I meant the third.
-10 plus 4? -6.
Yeah, the third term I got.
All right, now the third term.
5 times.
All right, Jeremy, I got a teacher so everyone gets it. 5 times previous term. What was the previous term? 6 plus 2 times, sorry, -6, thank you. 2 times, what term am I on? What term am I finding? 3. Watch out for that sneaky end with no A. -30 plus 6, -24. And last one before I release you to Delta Math. Let's see if anyone picks up on this one now. Yeah. Find the first 5 terms. Well, you already know what.
First 30.
First 2. 2, right? I gave you 2. I didn't even give you the first, just the first one. So A1 equals 4. Second term equals 3x. You ready? Okay, how can I use this formula now? Ready? Take our time. Let's talk. How would I find the third term? Let's go through the formula. What do we know this means right here? A subscript n minus 1. Which was what for us? If we're on the third term right now.
3x.
Okay, so I'm ready. I'm going to write 3x plus, keep reading the formula, 4 times, whoa. What do you think that means? A with the n minus 2. This was previous.
That's 1/4.
That's got to be the, what do we say, the previous, or
Second period. I don't know.
how do I the term before the previous one?
Just 2 ago.
2 ago? Everyone know where we're at? All right? So I'll just say the one before the previous. But we see what that means. So what's that represent? What was the term before the previous term? So 4 times 4. Everyone see that? A little different. Now I'm looking for the 2 terms before. All right, take your time. So the third term is going to be 3x plus 16. Can I combine those at all? Okay, don't get into unit 1. We're done. No, don't do anything. We're good. All right, what about the fourth term? Because it asked for the first 5 terms. Ready? Go back to your rule. Look at your rule. Previous. What was the previous? 3x plus 16 plus 4 times the term before the previous, which was 3x. Beautiful. Good work. 4 times 3x?
12x.
Okay. So 3x. And you guys can do, you don't have to show this. You can do that right, combine right on your own. Plus 12x. 15x plus 16 is my fourth term. All right, buckle up. What about the fifth term? Just read the formula. Just read the formula. Ready? What do I plug in first? Previous term. Remember, that's what it represented. 15x plus 16 plus 4 times before the previous. 3x plus 16. Woo! do I get there? 15x plus 16 plus 12x. What's that? 64? All right, so what do I end up there with? 27x?
Plus 80.
80?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't put
64.
that.
You didn't put the rest
60,
of the 60.
relax, 4, got it.
27 max.
Thanks. You relax too, all right, boss? Jesus. Okay. Okay, let's go. Pop open the Chromebooks. Get a couple done on Delta Math real quick. Hey, still got you covered. Notebook paper right on the next page for you to write anything you need down on Delta Math. Let me know if you can't get to the assignment. Yeah. Can you guys get to the assignment all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, let me put it back there.